What are we doing?
Oh, legal snags.
Legal snags.
Is this thing still on? Does this work?
I don't know if it works anymore, man. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is, what we're
What's a
doing
day?
anymore.
What's a day anymore?
What's a schedule? What does
What
day even mean?
schedule? What schedule?
I have no idea. I don't follow one. That's for sure. I don't know that one exists.
No.
I don't feel like I live up to the standard of a normal human being anymore. But then again, what is normal?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I mean, my normal is apparently cell phones, wrestling, and the thing I have to look forward to is a wedding in Tijuana. So that's all. I don't even know.
I mean, we know what's not normal is that it's taken us a month to get to episode number 68 of the Backstage Boys Podcast with Trent along with my co-host.
Basil.
And we are here to talk about nothing at all.
Guys, there has been shit.
There's a little. There's a little. You have a little.
I have a little. I've been keeping busy.
You've kept, despite all this, you've kept very busy, given the circumstance, which is very rare because there's like 3 photographers who are keeping busy right now, and you're one of them. That's it. So we'll dive into that. We'll talk about a little bit about that and just general bullshit. This is not going to be a long show. Just bullshitting, just hanging.
Bullshit.
But well, let's jump into it, man. I mean, well, actually, let's talk about this first. Quarantine's kind of easing a little bit, but we filled our quarantine pretty good, Basil.
I think for quarantining we did very well.
I think so too. I think we took up new hobbies. Talk about yours first.
I'm a fucking dork.
Door.
Let's see. Obviously, in shitload amounts of video games. Very addicted to Animal Crossing, which to this day, since that game has come out, I have not missed a day of playing Animal Crossing.
When did it come out? What's the actual timeline here?
I think it was March 20th.
So from March 20th till now.
Even if I play for 10, 15 minutes just to get my check-in points.
That's crazy. That's a lot of Animal Crossing.
A lot of dude, it's like 150 hours clocked.
I've heard, there's Nicole's really into this game too. I've heard from her that it's
Josh Briggs is into it, TJP is into it, Ethan Page is into it.
I was having it explained to me. I'm like, what in the hell is this game? I can't. She showed me one day. I'm like, what is this?
Dude, I'll get a text from TJP in the middle of a work day, and he's like, turnip prices now.
Turnip prices?
Yeah, so turnip prices are like the stock market in this game. So you buy turnips on Sunday morning. You have to buy them between 5 a.m. and noon.
Okay.
And you have a week to sell them. If you don't sell them, they go rotten on you. So the idea is to try to sell them at a high price. And so now there's this website that you can go visit other people's islands. Because you typically want to buy turnips for less than 100.
Okay.
And you want to try to sell them for ideally between 450 and 6. And you buy thousands at a time.
Turnips.
You buy turnips. You buy thousands of them at a time. So you can I'll spend 300,000. The currency is called bells. And I'll sell them, and I typically try to make 2 to 2.5 million a week.
What are we doing here, man? What are we talking about?
Bro, this is what
quarantine
has done. And then both of us have picked up painting.
Painting, yes.
Has been, there was many a late nights, painting until 2, 3 in the morning.
Painting's been fun. That's one that I definitely took up as well. Doing pour painting. You've been doing what would you call it? Figurine painting?
Miniature painting, Warhammer. Some people will know what that is.
Warhammer
I've been posting on it on Twitter. I haven't been shy about it.
It's insane though. The whole thing is just it's so mind-boggling. Just taking up this amazing new hobby and just like really getting into it where I spent money on this. I love it, man. Like there was
Oh, dude,
no
it's
wrestling to fill those times, and that's what we had to do.
it's fantastic, and we have all just been like, and it's funny because I found out other friends who have been doing the same as me, who got back into the hobby during quarantine because it takes up a lot of time and stuff. But if you can get yourself like a good start and then do everything little by little, it's a lot
Yeah.
easier. But
Yeah.
yeah, a bunch of friends I found out do it, and then like Matthew Palmer, you know who he is from Revolver, he
Yeah.
paints. Brandon Cutler's wife, she paints. So I was like, this is dope. This cool little, like, we all like we'll like tag each other and stuff like that, and let
So
each other
funny.
know about progress.
It's just so funny to me. It's such an interesting little world, like the figurine, like just paint. Like it's like all these people who you never knew painted, and you're like, wow, you're an artist too. But I don't know. I think it's like creative people, or in creative arts, like a pro wrestling, like independent pro wrestling. Your mind is always thinking of, you're thinking in gimmicks, man. You're thinking gimmicks all the time. I need
All
some
the
kind of gimmick. I create something. I gotta make something. I can only imagine what promoters' minds are thinking. Like I like Danny or something. It's like you can't run shows. Like what goes through your head? And, you have all these ideas, all these things you want to do, and you're like, man, I when am I gonna get to do them? I just have all this shit I want to do. So it's interesting. It's interesting. It keeps your
Yeah.
mind moving. Keeps your mind moving, man. But no, it's definitely been nice to fill our voids with that. Watching wrestling, at least there's 3 companies airing. I just watch Impact, obviously. I know you keep up with. You don't really watch WWE anymore, right? You keep up with the other two.
Yeah. I mean, I watch. I like to like. I try to watch NXT, the weekly ones, because Cross and DJ are on
Yeah,
there. So that's just more supporting. That's me supporting my friends.
yeah,
Um, Especially Cross's stuff has been fantastic on NXT. He's gotten like him and Triple H have worked from what he said on interviews and stuff like that. It's like a big brainchild between him and Triple H. So I
nice.
thought that was really cool for him, and him and Hunter have a lot of common interests, being metalheads and all that stuff. So I'm sure that was like a match made in heaven between those two.
Yeah,
Um, and then, but yeah, I mean, I watch AEW weekly, obviously, and Impact as well. Um, that's been cool, but I mean, there's been some good progressions. Like now, photo galleries get posted on Impact, which wasn't a normal thing for a while.
well, that ties into you've been working the Impact tapings. Let's talk about that
Well,
because
but I don't, but I'm not the one who posts any of that stuff.
no,
Like
no,
I
I'm
don't have,
saying like what makes it interesting is that these photo galleries are photos that you took. You
yeah.
know, So let's discuss it a little bit. I mean, you were down there for both sets of Empty Arena tapings, right, in Nashville?
I was. There was one set at the beginning of April, which we talked about, and then there was another.
Right at the beginning of all this shit.
It was, yeah, it was super. It was a super scary time. The fact that I actually went.
Yeah, because you were nervous going down. You were like, man, you had your letter of permission, you had your mask, you had it was like, you said it was kind of like ghost townish, right? Like driving and stuff. Like there wasn't
Oh,
a lot of
dude,
people out.
getting there was, it was so weird because there was no restaurants open.
Yeah,
So, and I stopped one time. Like I got really lucky that I didn't stop at all. Besides the one time I needed for gas, but I went to a gas station. I always try to hit up the gas stations that aren't just gas stations. They have to be those big stops that have like the Loves. I love finding a Loves
yeah, those are cool.
because they usually have a restaurant, like a fast food joint attached. They have a bunch of food. They have a bunch of snacks and drink selections.
And some
Like
random ass gift shop shit.
they do, but like I hate getting to a gas station and then there's like no selection and you feel like you have to get something that's there because you've already stopped
Yeah,
and it's not worth spending another 10-15 minutes stopping somewhere else. Especially with how I drive. I'm very efficient when it comes to driving on road trips. I'm a no BS type person. Like for example, the first time we all went to Nashville,
hmm
um me and you rode down together, and that you were my fucking saving grace because that was after the Warrior show, and I like literally collapsed after driving.
Dude, yeah,
Um,
that was an epic like couple days, man.
but on the way back, I remember you guys left before us, and we still like we beat you guys by like an hour and a half because you guys were like stopping and doing whatnot and
What are you
whatever.
talking? I didn't drive with you
No,
back
you drove with Brian
and Nate.
and
That's
Nate on the
right.
way back,
Yeah, that's right. Who are
and
you with?
and
Cactus?
yeah, Ryan drove with me
Oh, that's
because
right.
Ryan lives by me, um and you live by Nate, and it was just that was just easier.
I forgot about that shit. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, but me and Ryan were just like, are we gonna beat them? Are we gonna beat them? I hope we beat them. The entire time, we just wanted to beat you guys home because you guys left like an hour and a half before us, I think.
Did we?
Because we
Okay.
stayed back at the Airbnb for a little bit, and then when we found out we passed, you guys were like, victory. We're like, we know we got this now.
Well, we must have stopped. I know we got caught in some major traffic, but anyway, yeah.
You guys got caught.
No, we stopped in Louisville on the way back. That's
Did
why.
stop in Louisville,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you also got caught in traffic.
yeah. We got caught in traffic in Louisville too.
Yeah.
So,
So
interesting.
yeah, that happened.
But talk about this. Yes, you get down there, like
So yeah, the first time I get there, it was fucking depressing.
I know you can't talk too much about it. I know
Well,
they don't want.
the first set I can talk about. First set, I'm not gonna really talk about. I'm not gonna talk about anything storyline wise whatsoever.
Or just ins and outs of the things going on with the company. I know they don't want too much of what they're
No,
doing.
I mean they were doing testing stuff like that, but like the first time was everybody was really on edge because this is second week. This is third week of quarantine.
Third week, it was like right when it happened, man. It
And
was scary.
everybody was everyone like people were yelling at other people to like get social distance, and everybody was just like, but we're at a wrestling show and people are touching each other. But the thing is we didn't really hang out too much that first go round because I was like half the roster wasn't there, and I don't know, I think everybody was just kind of like, okay, let's just get this, we need to get this out of the way, let's do it.
Yeah.
This second set, completely different vibes. Like everybody was just like, we're over this. We just, like everyone's wrestling, everyone's hanging out. Everybody was. I mean, everybody's tested every day.
You're tested. It's been over a month and a half since the last one. People are looking at numbers trending down. Like there's a little bit of a stabilization point in some areas. Like there's a little more comfort in people. Like because at the time, I mean, a month and a half might not seem like a lot of time, but at the time, a month and a half is a scary fucking amount of time. It's like, a month and a half ago, it was right when it all happened. So you're like, shit, man, I don't know what this thing's gonna kill me if anybody looks at me funny, But by the time you get down there, it's like, we got a little more understanding. We know where it stands, and like I said, people are a little more eased up, and then more roster was there too, right?
Yeah, there was more roster, and then Ethan Page did a Twitch stream, which was fun. It was very needed. That was my first true social thing that I did.
Mm-hmm.
It was me, Josh Alexander, Jordan Grace, Kylie, Isaias, Deanna Perrazzo, Ethan, and Joey Ryan. So I mean that's an eclectic group of people, and
not really. It's kind of like the group that you would expect to hang out. Like if you told me like in the middle of all of it was like Moose, I'd be like, okay, that's a collective.
Moose.
Like Moose is hanging out with fucking Isaiah and like chilling, like.
No, but there was. I mean, Moose was with his DNA crowd.
Yeah,
I mean that was Eddie and Alicia, and so I heard him late at night. I think it was like the last night. It was like midnight. I heard him just like coming up in the middle of the hallway, and I can hear. Moose barrel portion.
Mushmouth Moose.
Yeah. I was like, I almost wanted to get out and say hi, but I was like, I didn't want to be that creep.
Fuck him. But talk about the difference between taping 1 and taping 2. Like how the vibe kind of shifted a little bit.
So what was better for me? So everybody was like, like I haven't been able to do normal ringside yet this entire time, which kind of sucks. So I shoot outside the barricade, and I was told to stay in one spot, and that's the spot where everybody has been seeing me on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So they're telling me like, Basil, you're on camera too much, and I'm just like, well, I was told to be here.
Who yelled
Like,
at you this time? Scott
nobody yelled.
Sophomore?
Nobody yelled. Nobody yelled at me. Nobody yelled at me. It was all good vibes. Honest to like, shoot. That's a straight up shoot. It was all good vibes. They're like, hey, like Dave Shahadi was like, hey, do you mind being over here? I was like, yeah, dude. I'm like, I don't care. I'll shoot wherever.
Yeah.
I'll make anything work. I don't give a fuck. And then I slowly progressed towards shooting via hard camera side on the ground. And like if you look in the photo gallery on Impact, you can kind of see that on this because this was the first set of tapings.
Right. Did notice there was a little bit of a shift right there.
Yeah, because I couldn't stand there. I tried to stand there the first time.
Okay.
And the camera guy was like, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable." Like like I said, it was 3 weeks in. I was like, "Yeah, dude, no worries." And I just hated like the black background. I'm like, if I don't have a crowd, I just don't want people to be reminded of that. So
yeah, what they didn't change anything though, yeah?
No, they didn't change anything. So what I did is I changed my shooting perspective to shooting on that bottom, on the left side. Like if you're facing the entrance, I'm on the left side, these set of tapings.
I noticed that, yeah.
And then I go towards hard camera. But I tried to stay on hard camera because all the best lighting is shooting via hard camera.
I noticed that difference in your photos that you showed me that you had. I was like, oh, cool. Like these do look different, actually.
Yeah. So I
Interesting.
I'm looking through them right now, and it's a big difference. And I like having the stage in the background because it's something in the background.
I do like that they went with the raindrop stage because that really added something.
That's their stage.
Yeah, no, and I liked because it helps add something to that hard camera shot.
Yeah,
and it gave us some depth to the shot because it was like if that stage looks empty, I mean you're fucking asking for a very bad visual if that stage is empty, you know.
But yeah, I mean, and then there was that was such a good choice. Like you're gonna see it on this week's album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look individually just to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. Dude, because I edited 6 weeks of Impact within 5 days. Well, no, it took me 3 days, and I edited. Really? Yeah, because the promo shots were the most. I took it was like 800 and 900 promo shots, and that took a week. But the 6 weeks of I'm usually good about editing. Whenever I've edited Impact, I'm good about editing 2 shows a day because if you figure the amount of matches that they typically shoot 4 to 5 matches a show, sometimes 6.
Mm-hmm.
Indie shows are typically 8 to 10, 11, 12 sometimes. So I just view it as an indie show when I'm doing 2 weeks worth.
All right.
It's the same workload.
Right.
So I would get 2 done. I usually get 2 done a day because then after a while you can't, especially because it's all red, you just can't keep looking at it all day or else you start fucking up your color corrections, and it is a real thing of like your eyes get tired of.
Oh, no doubt. You look at a computer screen long enough, your eyes are gonna get tired. But talk about the comparison now. Taping 2. So taping 1, you had it's kind of odd, or it was a little hesitant, but like taping 2, coming out of it, let's say, because you talked a little about it already. How was the vibe coming out? Because the tapings have been good; they're really good. Like they've been getting a great response. They're trending every week. How has that been? How was that vibe, and what's the vibe of everybody talking about it? Because you're obviously posting the photos as the shows are coming out, so everybody's been sharing them really nicely, which is pretty cool. It's good to have content. You know, like in a
And
time like
that's
this.
all I try to do is just my job is I want these guys to be proud because and I'll say this, the issue with Impact's image of like photography is the inconsistent because I'm not there at every single one, unfortunately. So you
Right.
get inconsistencies with photography. Like when you have AEW, 99.9% of the time it's Lee South's photos at AEW now. That's like how
Consistency, it matters.
he was the former photographer for Impact for 15 years.
It's crazy, man. It was him. Lee South photos, man. I'll never forget that. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then it's always funny. Me and Lee always like talk about, it, and he's like, "Yeah, I know exactly what you're going through right now."
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But you know, it's one of those things. I am such a stickler for consistency in product, and you'll do tapings, and it'll be like these amazing photos, and they'll go to like Vegas, and it's whoever the hell is doing Vegas,
Man, I
you
got to
know?
do Vegas one time. I hope I get to do Vegas again.
Yeah, and then they got the Mexico photos, which are atrocious. Uh, who does their New York tapings?
When I don't do it,
Yeah, because you've done a few, but like when it's not you.
I've done two sets of New York tapings. That I forgot his name, George something or whatever.
Oh, the old ECW guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Giannopoulos or something?
Yeah,
Tuesday?
yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
So he does that, and then there was some random dude in Atlanta, and I was just like, I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm just trying to get. I get very attached because now people associate me with Impact when it comes to photography. So it's like, I've expressed this before that people were like, "Wait, did you take these?" And I was like, "Nope." Like, I did not take it.
Also, no, I mean, there's also that thing where people are seeing the quality, and it's like, wait, why did the quality decrease? You know, what
Yeah,
happened here? So it's like part of that. Part of it is that. It's like you were like, wait a minute, I thought these were supposed to be nice. Like, why are these not as nice as the other venue or whatever? You know, so
yeah.
I could see that. I could totally see that as
So
being a thing.
it's a mix between like if the quality was good, like um when Andrea shoots,
In
like that's
Canada.
yeah, it's fine, like whatever.
Yeah.
But it's that I don't get worried about that one. I get worried about all the other ones who I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's dude, it's a problem. I mean, consistency in product is a big product. I love that. I mean, even just looking at like the Midwest, for example, you know, some of you guys have like you, Ian, Mouse, you guys have stabilized the photography in the Midwest Indies, you know, and just making them at least credible, man. Because dude, you look at even just 15 years ago, and there's barely documentation out there, and it's such piss poor quality photography that's out there.
and
You
now
know,
we
it's
document everything.
no, this generation's got it made, man. Their videos and photos are everywhere. Like they're able to push a brand by doing so much less than like people in that early 2000s generation had to. I mean, photos, just having proper promo photos. I mean, dude, you guys should start a group of like shitty promo photos and like LOL promo photos because there's some fucking bad ones from back in the day and even some bad ones now. And there's some bad ones out there. And you should totally start a group and post shitty promos. You know, ones with arms are cut off and everything, all that stuff. But just the fact, I think I'm looking at it from a producer standpoint. The fact that I have constant material to go to, you know, when I need to post shit. Like I've been keeping myself busy at AEW with the history posts and just you know using your photos, you Ian's pictures, putting them out there, just you know something for content, keep things in the feed, and just knowing that I can rely on it. And I will say that it started stabilizing a little bit more where you had guys like Liam O'Donnell, who was doing a lot of stuff for AEW in the Midwest for a
Yeah.
while. I mean, today, for example, I'm gearing up. The history post for later in the week is Lewis Linden's Heritage title win,
Ooh,
right?
man,
So we have a
people don't know. Like,
you don't know, man. He looked like Obama, and he was like Raiden and Obama had a baby. That's what Lewis Linden was.
I'm telling you, man. Like, Lewis Linden, like that type of shit was just.
I loved Lewis Linden, man. That guy was so beyond underrated for what he was. I think he just was great.
2012 to 2015, AEW is so underappreciated.
Dude, even because at 15 is when the whole company changed. Like everything changed in 15. But even before, like even I would say 2010 was a rough year. 11, 12 started changing. But yeah, you're right. Like you're right. 12 to 15, man. That was a very interesting set of years. But
That's like, so like those were the years when I really got into AEW. Like I would really call myself, I would say from like 2007, 2008 when I started going, I was a casual fan. Like I would go, because we weren't even running every month. We were running every 2 or 3 months, I believe, at that point.
Might have been every other.
I think it was every other month.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, we obviously, just for context, we weren't with the company at the time.
No, we weren't. And I mean, I think I was a casual fan. I think I was going to maybe 2, 3, 4 shows a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But when Squared Circle,
yeah, and that all became a thing. That was,
and then we had we had like the party buses and.
Did the bus ever go to
the bus? Yeah, dude. I have shirts. I have Berwyn shirts. Like I would drive to the city. I was so dumb. I would drive to the city just to go on the bus.
Okay.
To go to
Berwyn.
To go to Berwyn. Like it was hilarious. But it was just a fun thing to do. Like I love the party buses. Like I love the ROH party buses.
Yeah, it was a fun time. It was a fun time that it was different, you know? Like
yeah,
no one's ever done it again.
Yeah, it was
that Wrestle Travel tried doing it. And they were doing it, but not to the extent of like the party bus, you know, like that we were having here.
We had party buses for WWE. That was fun.
It was fun, man. Just knowing that there was something going on like that there was a party bus type of thing, you know, that was interesting, man. And we have nothing like that right now at all. No. Even imagine this. There's 1 million indies in Chicago and nobody's put a party bus together. How's that possible? Like
it's expensive. It's hard to get fans to like commit to that stuff.
I mean, I get it, but like, man, you're talking about the most oversaturated wrestling market in the country, and we can't get a party bus together in this town
because everybody I know.
Think about that. Well, for a second.
Thing is, everything is so. I feel like everything is like, but where's like the meetup spot? And why would you have a meetup spot when you can just? It made sense when you have something in the city to go to the burbs.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So
especially when there was like when the Squared Circle was there, it was such a centralized location, you know, to do something. I'm still shocked that nobody has opened a just like a meetup group, you know, like hey, we'll meet at this bar every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever the hell it is. But just to do a meetup group, no one's done that, you know. That's kind of crazy to think. Like, I'm shocked that nobody has in this time.
Yeah, I mean,
it just seems like such a layup, you know. Like, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't you have a meetup group at this point?
Yeah,
like those fans are apparently still somewhere, you know. Like, why are we not having them all meet up? It's kind of random. I don't know. I would think that they would, but by now at least. But no, nobody has. It's kind of shocking.
Yeah, it is what it is, and in that sort of context.
Leave the memories alone, bro. That's what you gotta do.
Memories.
That's all they are now. Like they're just Squared Circle is such just a memory is what all it is, man.
Dude, I just miss it.
Yeah, we've talked about it before on the pod. Like just we talk about it and we say it every time. We're like, man, I just miss it. It
Because
wasn't like
it was the
just
best.
what I loved about it. It was like this Cheers type thing in a way. Like there was always like you could always go strike up a convo, and the thing is the food was dope though. You know that's the thing I
Oh, the
loved
food
about it.
was on point.
The food was amazing. I never minded going because the damn food was awesome. So it's like you can always like find a reason to go, and the reason could be like, I'm gonna get dinner there. It's fucking, it's dope, and it's expensive, but it was good. You go home full, and you're like, I'm not gonna feel like shit spending money.
Mm.
No, you feel like shit because it was heavy. You don't feel like shit for spending the money because it was good food.
You have not had 3 failed attempts at trying to eat a full slobber knocker pizza with just one person.
Dude, I've eaten a lot of food there, and it was so. I can't find a bad thing on that menu. That menu was awesome.
The slobber knocker pizza was like one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah, the slobber knocker, dude. I remember the Heyman burger they had. It was like a deep fried burger. And
it was like I heard it had like pastrami.
Yeah, dude, it was nuts. Then at the end of it, like it would try to con you out of more money. Because like Paul Heyman just like just
bounce a check.
It was just bounce your check.
Your card would automatically get declined when you go to pay the bill.
You're like, wait,
insufficient funds.
Insufficient funds. You're like, wait, how? It's like you ordered the Heyman burger, right? Kind of comes.
You automatically owe $10,000.
Fucking me, man. It's just like it was such a good burger though. I love it. I love that Paul Heyman burger. It's expensive as hell though. I pissed me off about that burger though. It started off at $14, and by the time the Squared Circle closed, it was like $18. It was like $19.95. I was like, for a fucking hamburger,
dude,
man.
The Gail kimchi burger, the Fat Elvis burger. Even Kerry had his own burger.
Did he really?
Kerry's was the deep fried burger.
No, Heyman was deep fried burger.
No, Kerry's was deep fried as well. And no, the Spenguli was deep fried.
Spenguli has burger too.
That Spenguli burger was insane.
Yo, that Kerry guy really carried it on for a while, man. That guy would not let it die for like years. I'm like, bro, you can stop wearing the shirt, man. This thing's over.
And then he got the sponsorship from Collar and Elbow. I still talk to Kerry. He's a good dude.
Last I heard, he was like this rich dude.
He lives in Hawaii.
He moved to Hawaii?
He moved to Hawaii. He gave me he hit me up and was like, "Hey, do you want any AJ style chairs?" Because he would have all the chairs from the events.
That's right, yeah.
And he hit me up and he goes, "Do you want any AJ style chairs?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do." So I got, I think, Backlash 2017 or 2018, something like that. But it's where he's given a phenomenal forum. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm down.
Carry the Squared Circle t-shirt guy in the front row. He moved. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Moved to Hawaii. Interesting. Yeah, we're so all over the place with this episode. I was on the menu too for a little while. I had I was a Squared Circle Social Club president. They had the non-alcoholic beer dedicated to me on the menu.
Yeah.
Which was a nice moment.
There you go.
Got a lot of parties. It was a fun time, man. It was definitely a fun time. I miss it. I'm shocked no one's taking advantage of doing it again. After seeing how successful it was, how do you not just do it again?
Dude, it hurts. It hurts so much because I just want it back in my life.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone's ever going to open it again, man. The thing is, wrestling's popularity is nowhere near. It was already, think about this. It was lower. It then was considered lower. Imagine now, like the popularity is not even there anymore. You know, you can't even justify it.
I think the problem, like, I realistically think if it opened up, it was too early for its time. because the only thing that was really in town that was of any sort of draw was WWE.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
2013, you had Impact, but it wasn't. I mean, you were there. Besides, like the Social Club,
Yeah, because we went for Impact every Thursday at the time.
but it was like you guys, and then it was the same guys. Like there was, but like you would go to like a WWE pay-per-view, and the place would have a fucking waiting line. Like
Yeah.
the place would be packed. Like you would have to be standing up if you wanted to eat.
Keep in mind though, this is all pre-network,
Yeah.
so nobody had to pay
No, they
$50.
they still they were alive during the network
That was at the end though. The
at the
beginning
end,
was
but
the
they were
network,
still packed.
right? But I'm saying like at the time, in the beginning, the hook was don't pay $50. Come here and spend it on food. We'll buy the pay per
Exactly.
view. So
Exactly.
didn't she got a bunch of heat about that though, didn't she? Like because when isn't it like a thing where bars when they have to buy us when they're going to host a sporting event, they have to pay
Yeah.
more, right? Because
Yeah.
you're taking away buys.
Yeah.
How does that work? You know anything about that?
So it's based on occupancy and the size of the place that you have.
Okay,
So it's square footage, how many people can sit down and eat at your place,
okay,
and what's your max occupancy. So like the bigger the place, the more expensive it costs for you to have pay-per-views. It's all based on it's all based on all that. So every place is different. So like Fox and Hound, gigantic place, shit ton of TVs, a
yeah,
ton of bars. And so what they would do, like the one in Schaumburg, would limit it to one room. Like they had multiple rooms. They would sometimes limit it to one room so they don't have to
mm,
pay as much.
but then you
So
then you get less people in that room though. That's the thing, right?
well, it depends on like the popularity of it. Like I remember going one time for a Mayweather fight, and that was on every fucking TV.
Gotcha.
So,
It's
but yeah,
interesting.
don't I loved it during those times because they would have multiple TVs. So there was like one time the Hawks were in the playoffs, the Cubs were in the playoffs, and there was a UFC pay-per-view going on, and it was fantastic. I got all three for
Why
$5. My entry fee was like $5, and I got to watch all three.
why doesn't somebody start something now, man? I'm kind of shocked.
What, a sports bar
Or
or a
just no,
wrestling bar?
like a wrestling bar, like a wrestling meetup at
Yeah,
least at a
but
bar.
like, but what I'm saying now is there's so much wrestling. There would be no dead times.
Which
The
I mean,
slowest day you would have is a Thursday.
yeah, but that could be like
Sundays
your
there's something going on. Monday's Raw. Tuesday is Impact and NWA. Wednesdays is AEW. Thursday is nothing. Friday would be SmackDown. Saturday would be random stuff, pay-per-views or whatever.
right. I
So
mean, in that way you kind of space it out, then, right? You kind of do your thing where I mean, it could work, man. It could definitely work. I think in terms of just like, but you'd have to do what Squared Circle was doing towards the end, where they were kind of distancing themselves from being just labeled a wrestling bar, because
yeah.
that started to hurt them eventually. Where it's like
Well, then
all
they
that,
got into UFC,
right, and that was
and
the thing,
I remember watching the McGregor Diaz fight, the first one there,
right. They had
and
to start doing that to attract more people, man, because like you couldn't just rely on the wrestling
well,
crowd to
there
go
was
there.
there was nothing happening on Saturdays, and UFC would be on Saturdays,
Yeah, that was the thing too.
so
So you had to account. But did they draw for UFC though? I don't
oh,
remember.
packed, packed,
Really?
because there was no entry fee.
Right. There's no entry fee, right? Dude, I'm telling you, man. I think there's a market for it. There's definitely a market for it. It's not as you put it this way, it's not as popular as it was wrestling, but the fans that it does have will, I think, pack it out just because it's a common ground for them.
Yeah,
And I think people do need that kind of medium right now, or even not now, just in general. Like people doesn't want that medium back. I don't know, man. I don't know if it'll ever happen again. Who knows? Or it's going to take some bar owner wanting to do it, and just making a thing.
There are places that will show wrestling.
Yeah, like Rocks. I know North Center Rocks does it.
Yeah.
They show like the pay-per-views, right? A couple do. Like it's not like none of them do, but it's nowhere near to the level. Like they just kind of have. It's more or less like you could see like the one bartender likes it and he puts it on.
Exactly.
And he convinced them to buy it and he's like, yeah, come and watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing to the degree. Why don't you open one?
Huh?
Why don't you
No.
open one?
Absolutely fucking not. My mom owned a restaurant for 12 years. I want none of that in my life.
Come on, man.
Absolutely. How about you do it?
Do it for the marks.
You do it.
Do it for the marks.
You do it.
Nah, man.
I ain't gonna do it.
Do I need more projects? Do I need more projects? You see how much
absolutely do.
I don't need
that is a great work ethic that you have there, sir.
I need no more projects. I don't know, man.
All the projects.
I've been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen in quarantine. A lot. I'm talking
Hell's Kitchen.
I'm talking. I'm on season 13. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Wait,
how
you're on season. So you're over here telling me you don't have time for certain things, and you're on season 13 of Hell's Kitchen.
13.
Are you watching it while you're at work?
I started doing that recently. I have the old iPad. And I just put it up next to my monitor, and that's what I started doing. And I was just watching it while like in the kitchen, while I cooked or like ate, or had it on like kind of while I'm doing stuff in the room. I started it before quarantine. I shouldn't say just all during quarantine, but not too much before.
Just admit it was all during quarantine.
Not all, but I started watching it during work, dude. It makes the fucking work day so awesome to watch TV.
So this is I had this paid internship at Bosch Rexroth, and they gave us laptops, and then they gave us a monitor. They're like, oh, just put the laptop in your like little cubby space or whatever, and then you just hook it up to the monitor, and it feels like you're just on a desktop computer. Me, the nerd, was like, dual monitor setup.
Fuck yeah, man.
So, and then the way how my desk was set up is I had the entrance to the office. I was right there. So I positioned, I would have the laptop in front of me, and I had the monitor to the left of me turned towards me, so you couldn't see it when you walked in. I made sure, like, I was getting up from my desk and walking from every different angle.
That's awesome.
To make sure you couldn't see what I was watching. And I had Netflix on 24/7. And you couldn't, and because we were all on a shared internet thing, they couldn't pinpoint. And they're like, this floor is using a lot of internet lately.
They're just sucking down this like data. They're like, what are these guys doing?
They're like, what is going on here, guys?
Working hard, sir.
And it was fantastic.
That's awesome. That's great. Listen, that's a win. That's how those are what I call life hacks.
That's a life hack, sir. That's a life hack.
Absolutely a life hack. But you got to do it, man. It helps. It's helped me tremendously. I keep it like right up next to my big monitor, and I have like my work email on. And I'm saying while I'm working, I'm just like watching Gordon Ramsay yell at people and throw fucking scallops in their face. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
And then he throws up like a pound of chuck. It's still fucking raw.
It's still bloody raw.
This
guy's great.
fucking steak is mooing.
It's you fuck off, you donkey. Like
I see. I'm not in the Hell's Kitchen, but I'm totally into Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah, that's his too, right? I'm gonna start that one after I'm done.
I'm obsessed with MasterChef and Kitchen Nightmares because MasterChef, you see, like I like MasterChef Junior a lot because like he's really kind with the kids on that one. But yeah, no, I absolutely love Kitchen Nightmares. I mean, Gordon Ramsay's amazing. Speaking of Gordon Ramsay, Josh Matthews, huge Gordon Ramsay mark.
Is he really?
Huge. When we were in Vegas, we were in some mall or whatever, and you can never get this man to not focus on like random things.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just starts having a conversation about Gordon Ramsay. He's like, "Oh, I love Gordon. Me and Ashley love Gordon Ramsay, and we're huge marks for him, and all that." I was like, "Amazing, amazing."
I love him, man.
He literally said that word for word. I'm a huge mark for.
I'm a huge mark. I love how wrestling people like talk in carny, like in real life.
Dude,
you know?
Dude. So now my staff knows what the word heat means.
Yeet.
Because I say heat, I'm like, no, we don't have heat, or like I'll be like, I use the word heat a lot if someone's in trouble.
Yeah.
So now everyone knows what the word heat means. People like I'll say it's a shoot. Like if I'm saying I'm being for real, I'm like, dude, this is a shoot. They're like, what? And then
yeah. I've used shoot and they confuse the shit out of them.
Yeah.
I use mark, and I think people don't get it. I'm like, damn, I'm such a mark for fucking tacos or whatever, whatever the hell. And then they're like, the fucking what? Like, what is this guy saying?
What are you?
Like, oh, what the hell's a mark? And I'm like, let me sit you down there, boy. You fucking mark. Let me tell you something. But mark, heat, over. I use that one a lot. I'm like, oh, I'm getting over. I was totally over. I walked in, I was at this party. I was totally over. I was such a baby face at this party.
What do you mean? Were you over? You done?
No, like, did you leave? I'm like, no, I was fucking over, dude. Like, I was over with these people.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, game over, bro. Like, you damn right I'm over.
Oh my god. Oh my god, you nerd.
I know. I said that because I know how much you hate
the
back of that shirt.
The back is what ruined it for me. Damn right, I'm over.
Despise the back of that shirt. Like, dude. The front of the shirt, most amazing thing ever. The back of that shirt, you fucking despise.
I was like, what are we doing here? What the hell is this? Damn
what
right.
What are we doing, brother?
This is why wrestling shirts just don't work in real life.
Except for AEW got it right. They don't put anything on the back of their shirts.
Can't put you on the back. In general, like, wrestling shirts are just not... There's been very few in the history of wrestling shirts that just transcend, like just transcended, regular people clothing. Like, basically, if it was in black and white, it works. Austin 316, DX, NWO, Bullet Club. Those have worked out. Those have worked out just fine. Outside of that, you're fucking asking for it, man. You are asking to be labeled like, what a fucking nerd. No, it's true. Outside of that, though, man, I can't think of many that worked.
No, you really can't.
A lot of people, like, it's so funny, the amount of T-shirts Pro Wrestling Tees sells. You would think the odds are you just see random people wearing, like, hey, you like Chris Hero? Fuck yeah. Dude,
who's your hero?
Never see anybody wearing these shirts. I'm like, where do you guys just buy them to wear them at wrestling shows is what it is, right?
Oh, no,
like,
you always see me in a wrestling shirt now.
No, because... like people who work and do it, yeah, but like, I'm talking about, like, the odds should be a lot higher to see people like, hey, not bad. Hey, look at that fucking Kylie Ray t-shirt, nice.
I did, but you would see mad amounts of Bullet Club shirts in their heyday.
Bullet Club, there's 4 shirts that have transcended. I'm telling you, it's NWO, awesome. DX, Austin 316, Bullet Club. Those are the 4 shirts that countered the counterculture, because you saw people just wanting to have one because they were cool. Like, they're cool shirts.
They were fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the Bullet Club shirt got bastardized. NWO shirt got bastardized. The 316 shirt got bastardized. The DX shirt, it wasn't much to bastardize from it, but they put out so many of them, and then they put out so many fucking bad ones, and it was like, okay, you watered this down. It's like those got killed off in time, but dude, I knew people who just wanted to have an Austin 316 or NWO shirt in that heyday. They just wanted to have one to fit in.
I had the Austin 316 because I had the Austin 316. I had a DX one. I'm kind of ashamed to say this, but I did not own an NWO shirt in its prime.
Wow, really?
Because I So by the time, I was watching, I was into it, but when I said that Starrcade 97 killed my love for that company, I mean it 100%.
Oh.
Like, I did not own. There was one piece of WCW merch that I owned after that, and I wanted a Goldberg figure because I wanted him to wrestle Austin.
Oh, right.
And that Goldberg figure came with the big gold belt.
Gotcha.
And that big gold belt was dope, and I would have WWF guys win the WCW consistently beat up Goldberg and win the championship.
They still use that belt or no? The big gold.
No, Big Gold got retired 2013. Yeah, 2013.
That long ago.
Yeah, when they unified. It was 2013 or 2014.
Is that when The Rock came back and he won it one time?
Rock came back and retired the spinner belt. And then Daniel Bryan. And then they were still separate at the time. And then Orton and Cena had a unification match. And then when Lesnar won both of them, the promo was fantastic. He goes to Paul, he goes, "Do I really have to fucking carry 2 belts?" And he's like, "I really don't care about this one. It was at the big gold." And then the next day on Raw, they debuted the proper new logo belt that was so much better than the scratch title. The scratch title version of the belt that's out right now was god awful. But this one was better. It was Orange County Choppers made it.
Really? The motorcycle guys?
Yeah, Orange County Choppers fabricated it.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I wonder where that belt is now.
What, that one? Yeah, it's probably somewhere. It's probably somewhere in Connecticut or some shit.
In the Hall of Fame? Oh wait, there is no Hall of Fame.
No, dude, they have so much stuff they can make a Hall of Fame with.
They could. They don't.
They can make a literal Hall of Fame with the amount. Do you know what? If they literally put up the SmackDown Fist as an amusement, they could sell tickets just for people to see the SmackDown Fist.
Well, they won't do it though.
They're monsters.
They're monsters. You monsters.
I want the SmackDown Fist. God damn it.
That was a cool set. No, I will give them that. That was a very interesting set. But nah, man, definitely. God, we just jumped around topics over on this one, huh?
Who cares?
Yeah, that was great. Just random talk. Nothing else to talk about.
We're 53 minutes into this.
We're gonna hit an hour, and then we're gonna cut it.
And we're gonna
fill up 7 more minutes, and we're gonna cut.
I have been, while we're having this conversation, I have been organizing my online promo catalog because I have been way behind on that.
Nice.
So
nice. We're just making use of time, man.
Being efficient. This is the being completely efficient. And I did not lose track or not pay attention to what you said this entire time. So I'm very proud of myself.
Very nice. Very nice job.
But yeah, Impact was great.
Full circle.
Full circle.
No, I mean, it looked like fun, man. It looked like a lot of fun. The shows have been very good. I've been enjoying them doing my other show, the Impact Pod. Like, it's nice to watch them.
Show? You mean a whole fucking empire of Impact podcasts?
Impact Wrestling podcasting empire, total nonstop.
I don't know how you're not. I literally don't know how you're not burnt out on Impact. The amount of Impact you ingest.
I just ingest one product, though. That's the thing.
You ingest like 8 products within that one product.
No, I do. Okay, we do the weekly, and then
so you do the weekly.
We do TNA Throwback.
Okay, so that's 2, and then you watch Explosion, and you watch whatever's on the Plus content.
But which there hasn't been any. So we watch Explosion, and we talk about the match, and then the around the ring segment. Then we do open forum and just shoot the shit.
And I know. Did you watch the most recent Explosion with North versus Crimson Jacks?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna watch it for this weekend's one.
Did you see Josh Alexander's tweet about it?
No, what do you say?
There was this crazy spot where Crimson and Jax throw Ethan, like ragdolled him.
They're big dudes, man.
And you just see Ethan's face. Like, he goes to tag Josh and he's like, yeah, fuck this shit. Like, his face goes from, ah, he's like, no, absolutely not. And it was the great. Like, I'm sad that I was not ringside for that because I don't shoot explosion
How come?
because they don't post photos. I was told not to. I was told not to shoot explosions.
It's gonna I mean, they should get everything on tape. You know?
I get it, but I like explosions because it gives me a break in the day.
I get it. I'm just
Like those are my breaks because we shoot explosions. We'll randomly put them in the middle. So I'm just like, yes, 10 minutes to just like I can catch up on. I usually catch up on promos during explosions.
it'd be good if they tell you at least go take one or two pictures of it and that's it. Call it a day.
Good, but
Yeah. Just a document, man. I just think like the Vince McMahon method of just get everything on tape because you never know. You never know when it's going to come in, because you'll use it. And they have, man. They've used shit that just, you're like, where the fuck did they get that, They just tape everything, man. Because it'll eventually come around.
I don't disagree with you.
But, well, that's cool, man. That's cool. Let's wrap it up. I mean, not much else to talk about. We're just kind of checking in until things. I mean, there's, just to put this on there, there's talks of shows. I mean, some Indiana's open. Wisconsin's open. Indiana
Black
is
running August 22nd.
30-person show, I think, or something. And
no, well, they had 30 extra tickets. It's 100 people.
100 people.
Because they had season ticket holders.
So
season ticket holders automatically got tickets.
So you got shows starting in August. Think about that. That's another. Well, shows are on now. Some are now, but
IWA is running on the 19th
of June.
Yeah,
this weekend.
Because they're
indoors.
I have no idea. And then GCW is running an outdoor show next week, Saturday.
I mean, they're starting, and I know that one in August is talking about being an indoor show. So, like, you think that's nearly another 2 months for things to calm down, things to kind of ease up. Regulations. I mean, they're talking about Illinois is hitting phase 4 in like 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. That's phase 4. I mean, obviously the jump from 4 to 5 is huge, but those can always be altered depending on where we go. I can totally see things happening. It's just a matter of how and when. So we'll see, man. I'm not doubting anything. I mean, things are progressing, so we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we're here. We're just doing this, man. We're painting.
We're here, guys.
We're painting pictures. All right, let's wrap it up. Basil, where can people find these photos, the impact ones you're doing, all the stuff you've been up to? Plug it up.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BZ. That's B, 2 E's, 4 Z's, and a Y. All my photos can be found at basilmahmood.com. Impact photos can be found at impactwrestling.com.
Very nice.
Where could they find you, Trent?
You guys can find me at Trent Zuberi on Twitter or Hemi Music on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Support the brand. Independent musicians are also feeling the burn of all this. So buy a T-shirt on belowthecollar.com/Hemi Music. What?
T-shirt.
T-shirt. We didn't talk about the T-shirt.
Oh my God!
How did we not talk about the T-shirt? Wait a minute. Let me finish my plug here. Then we'll talk about the T-shirt. I guess that's my plug. All right. Wait, before we get into the show plugs, we got one more thing to talk about. What the hell?
Jesus,
that's actually the news we had. My God. Like actual fucking news, and we don't talk about it.
If this isn't proof that we don't plan this show, I don't know what else could be, because
so we have official merchandise. We have T-shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com/Backstage Boys. So we officially have merchandise. We have 3 designs up right now. 4th one coming up. The show logo, the Team Cart, which is a classic throw. That's almost like a you and Rob shirt, right? Team Cart.
Yeah, that's a Robin myself.
That's a throwback to LaSalle. Team Cart, right? That's where Team Cart was born,
That's
LaSalle.
where Team Cart was born in LaSalle, Illinois.
LaSalle, Illinois. And then we have the BSB logo, the ring logo T-shirt. So we got merch, guys. Fourth one coming up. We'll try to design it, get a little something in there, a little, incorporates both of us or a little me or whatever it might be. But we're definitely going to get one very soon, another design, now that we got a little time to design a fourth one. But in the meantime, ProWrestlingTees.com/BackstageBoys. We're official, Basil. We have PWT's merch.
Buy it.
Buy it.
I need a PS5 this year, guys.
That's it. Hook it up, guys. We'll get some. I got some heavy plugging of it. Actual plug. Now we got an episode. We can actually use this to plug shirts with now. And after now we can post an episode and then post show stuff or shirt stuff. But guys, don't forget the show. You can connect with us at the BSB Show on Twitter and Facebook and also Instagram. Instagram is here now. Next week is this week, and Instagram is here.
Next week is this week.
You guys can follow us on Instagram at the BSB Show Pod. I promise we're going to post more. Basil, start posting something, please. We have 3 photos up there. Can we keep posting? Don't be lazy.
I'll post. I'll start.
Throw some stuff up there.
I'll throw some stuff up. I'll throw the shirts.
Throw the shirts up there, please. Do something. There's some photos Ian took of you and I. Throw those up there. But guys, the BSB Show Pod on Instagram. Take a look, follow. But don't forget the show. You can also follow the show wherever podcasts are found: Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, YouTube. We are on YouTube at the Backstage Boys on YouTube. Look up Backstage Boys Podcast. It'll come right up. And we are looking to expand the audio distribution of this. I'm working on a couple other things, so stay tuned. If there's any audio platforms you want us to be on that we're not on,
what? There's more audio platforms? Seriously?
Dude, there's like 30 audio platforms, and I'm like, I don't know anybody who uses anything but Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and that's it. I don't know anybody who uses anything else. For total nonstop impact, we got on this one called Geo7. Have you heard of this? It's India's version of Spotify.
No.
And it's huge. And I was like, what is this? I'm looking into it, and I see Marty and Sarah are on it. I'm like, okay, so it's not like, it's got to be a little legit if they're on it too. I looked into it. It's like India's version of Spotify. I'm like, what in the hell is Geo7? I've never heard of this around that Geo7. So I'll put us on Geo7 too or something. But no, guys, if there's any ones, I know there's smaller ones, Anchor and things like that. Podbean, if you guys want us to be on those, if you listen on those and you prefer those, let us know and we can see what we can make happen. But Basil, did you side note, did you get that design for the 4th t-shirt? Now we mentioned you got t-shirt. We got 4 t-shirts.
That is confirmed and it will be coming later this year.
You totally missed your cue. What that setup
not
was
next
for.
week.
It setup was for next week, but okay.
Okay.
Hey, Basil, you talked to that designer about the 4th design for the t-shirts?
I'm not editing this out, but yeah, next week.
We're so rusty. All right, guys. Don't forget, connect with us. Give us your feedback. We appreciate you listening. Definitely. Oh, by the way, no more watch-alongs. That watch-along did not do well on numbers, by the way. The Destination Walk. People, you people out there did not want to watch along with us, man. Nobody had any interest in watching along a show with us. And I guess I guess, but 3 guys who were there, man. What the hell? Nobody wanted to hear it, Basil. They want to hear.
Because we didn't talk about the show.
Yeah, it's true. I only did 3 matches. It was such a weak watch along. I was like, we're gonna do 3 matches out of the show.
3 of them.
Because Nate's sleepy. We're gonna do 3 matches. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll be a little more frequent as things we get a little more news to talk about. So definitely check me out on Total Nonstop Impact. If you're an Impact Wrestling fan, we talk a lot about Impact in this show. So weekly, the #1 Impact Wrestling podcast on the planet today, baby. So check that out. We will talk to you guys later. If you need anything else from us, let us know. But until then, we will see you
next week.
Hopefully, guys. Hopefully. Good night, everybody.
Bye.